Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tenebris. I think. We're in space. We're on some sort of space vessel. And it's gonna get spooky. That's all I remember. Press E to interact. Please interact with the hollow HUD to continue. Okay. Patient number 47901, pod number 32. Reason, fever, vomiting. Quarantined to not spread. Status released. Okay, so these are some... Reason, illness, subject terminated. Oh dear. So, this is some... Why is the mouse doing that? This is some medical records from some form of a disease or injuries that were going around. Okay. Is this a map? Is this where I am currently? Well, this is a big round room. Are these biobeds? Pods for monitoring people? If so, why are there so many of them? You couldn't possibly have imagined you'd fill all of these with the crew. Or is this some form of a medical ship? I don't know. This game isn't finished. I should just preface that. This game isn't finished. It's not complete yet. Biosterilization chamber. Access granted. Welcome. You may have your bios sterilized. So there's definitely something medical going on here. Something clinical. Hopefully won't involve any probing of any areas we don't want to go into. Ah, this is like those lines they put up at the cinema for the kiosks. Okay. Wow. That's space. That's the infinite void of nothingness that is space. Isn't it here? I don't know. What does it say about this access point? Work order. Name, Sean Andrews. Position, Head of Growth and Development. Location, Biosterilization Chamber B, Engineering Desk. Description. Filter for ventilation came loose. Potential risk of contamination from particles within vent prior to sterilization entering remainder of ship. Possesses moderate health concerns. So some evil particles were waltzing around the ship, having escaped from someplace else. Okay, that's an amazingly cool ship. If Batman had a spaceship, it'd look like that. Why is there a mini museum on a spaceship? Okay, I've picked up some bullets. I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to do with those. Can I crouch? C? No, there was no control list. No, there's no control list at all. So control and C aren't doing anything. Yes, I can run with shift, but it doesn't seem like there's a control for crouching, so it looks like that's a vent that I could enter. But maybe not. Okay. So this reminds me slightly of Vault 22 from Fallout. They're experimenting on a type of plant that could grow even in the radioactive wasteland. Got into the ventilation systems and infected people and turned them into not very pleasant creatures. Maybe something similar has been going on here. Some sort of disease has gotten out, some particle or pathogen. Who knows? Ah, yes, this must be that room that we started in because it's so tall. Yeah, so this is where we are now. So I don't know where we're going. Presumably here? This seems like the most final of the locations that are on this map. So I'm suddenly thinking this looks absolutely identical to light blue. The last game I played. Is this a reuse that I'm guessing this is just a free asset that they've used for it, rather than it being the same developers. Or a lot of copycat work. Excuse me. My throat is all hoarse. Okay, So this area is a bit empty, but that's probably because this part of the game has been developed yet. So let's keep exploring. There's supposed to be about an hour of gameplay, which is... I'm never quite sure how much gameplay that ever actually entails to be, because you never know whether they mean when it's finished there'll be an hour of gameplay, or there's currently an hour of gameplay, which always makes things rather tricky on my end. Medical Sciences and Medical Center. You'd think those two things would be kind of the same, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay, this looks like an observation chamber. Is that the pathogen? What's all this? Error, corrupt storage, and then a load of gibberish. Oh, wait, hang on a minute. I've seen the writing on the walls. The tensions are high. With the argument I overheard between Captain Braun and that new kid, Borden, and the argument that everybody heard between Borden and Chief Mate Natal in the mess hall, I don't know what to make of it. Couple that with the strange patients Sean and I have seen lately, there is certainly something going on. Good thing Toby's sweet on me, or I wouldn't have been able to convince him to let me borrow a weapon from the armory. He is such a sweetheart, and I think he really wants me to stay safe. He told me to keep it in the safe with the meds, but I can never remember the code to it. Sean printed out those photos just for that reason, but I think it's silly. He says it's to create longer-term memories, but I don't. Corruption, corruption, corruption. Okay. So there's a code to a safe with a weapon in it, presumably whatever these bullets go to. Thank you. And the code... That is exactly... That asset's been used in Light Blue as well. I'm starting to think maybe it is the same developer. Or it is just a load of free assets that they've used to start building up the place. I don't know. But there's some photographs. What are these? Some photographs which are supposed to clue me in on the code? Okay, if you say so. What are these? What are these and why are they floating? I don't know. A computer. That seems like a place you might find a safe. Nope, nothing. I don't know what the keyboards are doing on the way down there, but never mind. Okay, so there's more of these tubes. What's this? I don't know, I can't pick it up. Okay. So, I am thoroughly befuddled as to what's going on. Let's go into the medical offices. You might have had a safe there, right? Unlocked. Ah, yes, different offices. Ooh, what's this? This looks exciting. No, this is just a lamp. That's a very tall bed. Yes, as I said, it's really, really not finished yet. There's obviously a lot of work they've yet to do. Okay. Let's... It's like the doors open when you're pointing the mouse towards them rather than when you actually get physically close to them. Which is interesting. I don't know if that's a bug or if that's done on purpose. I don't know. It's interesting though. Ah, here's that ship again, only this time in grey. Batman won't be very pleased at all. Can I jump? Yes, I can. Can I jump and see if there's anything behind here? Nope. Nothing but empty space. Okay, anything else? A few more bullets. I've noticed I've been picking up different types of bullets. There's these sort of rifle ammunition in comparison to the stubbier pistol shots. So possibly there's multiple weapons. There is supposed to be combat in this game at some point, so prepare for a load of terrible aim and embarrassing failure. Okay. What about... Oh, more bullets. I'll let those, thank you very much. What about upstairs? What's up here? What does this say? Sent midnight. For our lives, comrades. It's going to happen. Don't doubt it. You know what they're plotting. It's us or them. We need to act, and soon. You'll see. Use your pseudonyms we decided upon to prevent tracking when responding. General. Sent 32 minutes past midnight. For our lives, general and all, we don't know for sure that's what they're planning. It could be a huge misunderstanding. If we act too soon and we get this wrong, we're dead. let's see what it all means first. I don't want to die because we jump to conclusions. Sergeant. Send 3 minutes later. Sergeant, you will die if we don't act. You might die if we do act. Choose carefully. 114. I'm with the General. No one else knows that we're on this ship. Nobody cares about us. We have to watch them. I'm not going down without a fight. Don't come to me when you get caught in the crossfire, Lieutenant. So there's some sort of a mutiny going on. Possibly that's why the note we read earlier was discussing a weapon. There was some form of a mutiny going on, possibly for control of the ship. Something spooky going on. These... I was going to say these look like they've fallen from the ceiling. But there's no damage to the ceiling. What else can we uncover? But yes, apparently Tenebris is the name of the ship that we're on. This is called the Tenebris Voyager, apparently. Voice recording ready to play. Okay.
Thanks again for all your help, Jim. You showed up just in time. I don't want to think what would have happened if you hadn't been there.
It is quite fortunate for you, yes. That sedative works rather well. I may need to keep a supply on hand for myself. Be mindful of the subject going forward. I have the utmost trust in your abilities, Doctor. I'll come back later to check in on your progress.
Just let me know if you need anything else. I have some business to attend to.
Hopefully you could hear that. The ambiance is quite high and I can't find any audio balancing controls in the game, so I've had to put the volume a little bit lower than usual so that the footsteps and the general ambiance don't blow your ears out and overpower my voice. So hopefully you were able to hear that, but if you couldn't, it seemed to be a scientist and some sort of a supervisor, a medical scientist and a supervisor. They were discussing a subject and some sort of sedative. Wow. So there's a lot going on here. I don't like the look of this. This looks like something broke out. Something very big and very strong that probably isn't going to be chuffed to see me. Hi. Hi, friend. How are you? You know, I was just talking about you. Just talking about you. How lovely you are. Yes, I really feel like I should have a weapon by now. Oh, hi, friend. You are not pleasant. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get out of here and go looking for that safe again. Is it still following me? No, I think it's gone. Okay, what about the specialist clinic? This looks like they were treating something specific. Oh, go on, play. I'm pressing E.
This is Dr. Sean Anderson, lead life scientist aboard the Tenebris Voyager. I'm examining... The patient is exhibiting out-of-character aggressiveness, self-mutilation in the form of strange symbols being carved into the anterior of both forearms, and is responsible for creating an incident in the central hallway. The patient is also displaying early-onset permanent contractions of the zygomaticus major. I plan to examine... The patient's personality seems to have altered entirely in a matter of hours. There are no signs that the patient is grounded in reality. If this is coupled with previous aggressive behavior, it's on the hunt. Temporary internment might be the best option.
Okay. So they were studying some subjects, and they were using sedatives to keep them calm. But eventually the sedatives must have stopped working, and they escaped. Killed everybody else on board. Access denied? Oh dear. That's not good, is it? So where's this safe? I want a weapon. I don't feel particularly safe right now. Hi, friend. Where are the sound effects? Yes, there don't seem to be any. Like I said, it's still very early access. Okay. So, ignoring the bloke that's trying to rip my head off currently. Ignoring that, can I please find something to whack him with? Is he gone? Okay, I think he's gone. There are many, many bullets and nothing to fire them with. This is an interesting situation, I must admit. Can I not wallop him with one of these ladles? Okay, this is lovely, but at the same time, where is the gun? So this is possibly one of the calmest horror games I've ever played. I never realised until now just how much of an effect audio has on making this situation tense. Okay. So we've met our lovely friends, the mutants. Why is there a train station on a spaceship? Or is this not a spaceship? Is this a space station? That might answer some questions. I'd love to listen to this, but I don't really have the opportunity if those guys are still following me. No? Am I being left in peace?
This is Anton Coulson. Repair log number 04-B. External body repairs were conducted on the starboard bow of the Tenebris Voyager earlier today. Damages were minor, but the source of the damage is still unknown, but not a cause for further worry. Accompanying me on repairs were Jermaine Corrigan and Lily Dodson. The repairs were completed. Open suits and tools were returned to the engineer's room upon completion. But, something strange happened during the repairs. I can't describe it really. It was like thunder. It shook me to my core. I could feel it in my bones. Corrigan and Dodson felt it too, and I know that this is a bit unprofessional to be including this in my official report, but I think it's important for the records that I do. Hopefully it was nothing and the ship is safe.
Thunder? In space? That's not how astronomics works. I don't know. Something, but I don't know what. Might be they're uncomfortable coming out of cryo, but I've been thinking it's something more. They couldn't have figured out the real mission, could they? No, it couldn't be. Division 1 wouldn't have any leaks. I just hope all the precautions aren't for nothing. I don't feel right about it. Robert Adams. So there's definitely a bit of a mystery going on. Some strangeness has pleased him as a gun. No, it's some sort of revolving massive spanner. Okay, this is clearly a maintenance bay with tools and such like in it. What does this say? Anything of interest? Location of life support. Status ongoing. Engineer Jeremiah Corgan. Work order, blah, blah, blah. Description. Fluid leak likely coming from sterilization room. Location, office medical facilities. Status completed. Okay, there's loads of work orders here. None of them are very exciting. Noise in mainframe. Origin unknown and explainable. Air vent damage. Broken filtration and temperature control. File not found. So there's some mysterious malfunctions and damages that have been going on. Emergency power offline. Insert command key to re-enable power. Backup power restored. Re-enabling core systems. Core systems re-enabled. Okay, but we've lost our funky font. I will be the first to admit that I am utterly lost. I have no idea what we're doing or why we're doing it. Okay, it's also struck me that finding the save wouldn't really help me, given that... Okay, I can now pick things up through panes of glass. Well, that's an achievement I can put on my CV. It does strike me that we couldn't actually use the safe because, of course, we don't have the code yet.
Imani, how much do you trust Braun? Better question. How much do you trust Braun's faith in this AI to get us out of this mess without killing the rest of the crew?
Robert, what the hell has gotten into you?
Look, I respect that you're the chief research officer, and you probably understand what we're getting into better than I do. But what I know is the specifications the OSRDC gave me for this thing are way more stringent than any military hardware I have ever worked on. I mean, my budget for this project could build 6 Voyager-class cruisers.
What's your point, Adams?
My point is that a lot of people's lives depend on Braun not messing this up, and I don't think not messing this up is Braun's chief concern. I think the OSRDC told her to get the cartographer at any cost.
Do you think that I like this any more than you do? This crew is working harder than any I've been a part of. They take pride in their work, and they trust Braun. So we should too. We just have to trust that Samantha is in charge because she knows what she's doing. Whatever choice she makes in the end, whatever choice, is the right one.
That's easy for you and me to say. We're fine either way.
Blind loyalty to individuals who do not seem to have your best interests at heart. Now that sounds like a recipe for disaster. So does this, if I'm honest. You doing some exercises there? I see you still haven't quite mastered those jumping jacks yet. They've got a very nice design, if admittedly a little janky on the old animations, but interesting. So there's something that people have a huge amount of investment in. They're very, very interested in this, and they're putting a great value on it if they're willing to risk people's lives and spend huge sums of money on all of this. The question is where under the sun the safe is, if the safe is even a thing yet. No promises there. Okay. Let's try going back to the mess hall and the kitchens, because we weren't able to have a proper look round there because those monsters were there. So let's see if we can work our way back there. That's the medical dispensary we met our first friend. Biosterilization. This is where I came from, isn't it? Or am I crazy? No, this is definitely where I came from. Okay. Hi, friend. Such good friends we make in this place. Also, is it my imagination? No, they do have chains around their heads and neck. Their neck and hands. That's lovely. So they were clearly very violent and dangerous, as if we couldn't already tell that from the fact that they're trying to bludgeon me to pieces. Okay. What's through here? Biodevelopment and life support. I feel like we came here as well. Is this where we came to turn the oh, hello, friend. To turn the generator back on, for want of a better word? Okay, this is locked down. Security lockdown initiated, room locked. So I can't access that. But that is new, I haven't seen that before, so that's something. But, oh. The final survivor died, and so the Tenebris and its crew were lost to time, forgotten in the dark regions of space, forever. Okay, well that answers more questions in one sentence than this entire game has in 24 minutes. So, I'm the last survivor of some form of disaster caused by these lovely, lovely creatures. So, give me a minute, I will wander around a bit, and I will see if I can figure out where under the sun the weapon is. What? Quarantine room? What? You just said this room was locked. So far the cryo chambers have been working spectacularly. Overall crew health has been very good and we've had no complications. The cryopod rotation has not created any issues so far. I hear from title and name of someone in charge of ship resources that overall resource consumption and management is matching estimates. There have been no complications with being placed in cryo, though some of the minor side effects have been recorded. There have been cases of patients experiencing a tingling sensation in their extremities, short-term dry mouth, and even temporary freezing of the vocal cords. Those have been the rarest occurrences, keeping the patients under supervision provided a quick recovery. With new technology such as this, oddities are never out of the question. Sean Andrews. Okay, why is this the quarantine room? Why are these 6 pods special? Leave now. Well, if you insist. Oh, I see. It's not locked off. It's just telling me not to go there. Okay, that makes slightly more sense. So let me... Yes, there's ammunition everywhere. So there's got to be a gun somewhere. Presumably in that safe that was talked about. So let me try and find that note again and figure out where this safe is so that we can actually get hold of a weapon.
Jody, with everything going on, I'm recording this in case something happens to me. I still plan to see you by Halloween, but I'll tell Sean to give it to you just in case. Well, let's not think about that. I'm getting a bit worried lately. I can't help but thinking that there's something affecting everyone on the ship. People keep ending up in psych, and the whole situation with the captain keeping quiet isn't helping things. I just want to let you know that I love you. That I'm planning on doing some stupid things. But if it all works out, we'll be enjoying some pumpkin pie and eating candy corn. I can't wait to see you and the kids. I love you. Flynn.
Okay, so there was clearly some widespread impacts of whatever was going on. I'm starting to wonder whether they brought these monsters on board, or whether they somehow turned the crew into these monsters. So this is the thing that talks about the safe, right? Yes, this is the thing that talks about the safe. He told me to keep it in the safe with the meds. I can never remember the code. Sean printed out those photos just for that reason. Okay, so where's the safe? What safe are we talking about? Because I am not seeing one. Just didn't realize you could clip through those, but never mind. What are these? These aren't big enough to hold a person, so they can't be the cryo chambers, which must be those tubular things we saw previously. And it seems like if they had a medical aspect, they would be in all of the other stuff, rather than just out here amongst all the lockers. Mind you, what is in here is anyone's guess. Okay, so the safe definitely is not in the medical offices. I've searched it as thoroughly as I can, and it's definitely not here. We've listened to those recordings. That's just a few more bullets. Let me have a better look around here. Just see if there's anything that I missed here because of our good friend over there. Anything on the far side of this room? There's just bullets. That's just a huge load of cabinets. A broken table. Giddy on there, quick. Yeah, it does seem like there is no safe here. Which you would imagine there would be, since surely combat being such an integral part of the game would be one of the things they'd put in first. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they haven't implemented the combat yet. So we can't go in here. Let's have another look around. I'll try and be a little bit more careful of the bad guys this time. I'm trying not to get murdered quite so much. Oh, yes, I remember now. We went that way to get to the reactor, didn't we?
Officers at attention. Well, well. What is that bruise on your face, Solus?
It's, nothing to worry about, sir. Just hit my head is all. Rolled off my bunk the wrong way.
Interesting. What about you, Woodward? Did rolling off your bunk split your lip, too? And I'm sure that limp just snuck up on you, huh, Salgado? Why don't you try again, Mr. Solus?
It's really nothing. Officer, you said just a bit
Don't play dumb with me, Solus. I know all about your little brawl from an anonymous source. You should be ashamed of yourselves. You were selected for this mission because of upstanding service records and the trust placed in you by the Outer Systems Research and Defense Council. I needn't remind you, this is a rescue mission. There are lives on the line. All of you will be docked a week's pay.
A week's, sir? But all we did was...
Put yourselves at risk for a serious injury and defy the orders of this ship. A month's pay for you, Solus. Don't talk back to me again, or you will receive much worse. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Andrews, that weasel.
So there's a lot of dissent. There's a lot of bad stuff not working on this ship. And I am rather confused. They say it's a rescue operation, and yet at the same time it seems like they're a ship of experimentation. It's very strange. This door said... There we are. Said it was locked until we reinitiated the power, which I've done now. You can hear other voices. Which would make you think there are still people here, but there's not, according to the death screen anyway. A gun? That's quite clearly a gun. Thank you. Finally, I actually feel like I'm ready to fight something. Oh, okay, I don't know what that clicking is going on for. What? How do I switch between weapons? Not by pressing that button. Okay, so we have our pistols and our rifles, and presumably some form of spanner for a melee weapon, judging off the bottom of that. Man, that reload noise isn't annoying at all. Okay, so we've stumbled across the armory, which is interesting given the fact that there seems to be a complete red herring to say that there's a weapon in the safe.
We drew straws to see who would approach Chief Mate Natal. Captain Braun is so kind, but Natal, she's just so cold. I don't know if I'm ready for this, or really if I believe any of it. But Marcus is sure that we can't trust the captain. But can we trust the Chief Mate? If she's in on what's going on, Division 1, then we're done for. Marcus, Flynn, myself... Marcus, what have you gotten us all into? Should have stopped him at Define Dangerous. Mom, I'm sorry. If I get this one wrong, Marcus and I aren't coming home.
I'm getting real alien vibes from this. I knew this job would be boring when I got my orders, but this really sucks. I've been supervising cryo to make sure there's no funny business, and there hasn't been a lick of anything. All of these science types, just talking about their labs and experiments, none of it makes any sense to me. Some of them have got real egos on them too, like they're important or something. My job matters too. This commission's too long. Just walk the same hallway, stand in the same place, checking the same tech day in and day out. One of them makes me so mad, little pipsqueak. Never take security seriously. I don't care if you're the lead scientist of an agricultural whatever. You've still got to check in like everybody else. Complaining about how I'm delaying him from getting to his precious plants. Like I care. Run off and water your plants or whatever it is you do. Dr. Klein, probably breathing too much of the fertilizer. Weird thing happened today. Spied Officer Yasada in the escape pod chamber this morning. Seemed to be caught off guard by seeing me, but it's my job after all. He seemed to be checking them out like he was doing maintenance or something. As soon as he saw me, he got stiffer than usual and split. I don't know how he got there either. I didn't see him pass through the checkpoint. Felt like I had eyes on me for the rest of the day. Must be imagining or something. There's a real mystery going on. Management keycard required. Okay, there's no actual guarantee that my bullet's getting through that door, so we will pretend for the time being that we haven't seen any bad guys yet. Right. So this is some sort of a storage room with more of these whatever these are. Oh, hi friend. He's dead. Yeah, they have a very nice design, a very interesting design. Ah, we're back in the kitchen, right, okay. So now I must go through the interminably long clicking sequence that is my reload. I'm assuming that the safe they mentioned is possibly how you'd access the spanner, and that would be your first weapon, and then later on you'd access the armory where you'd get some proper weapons. I'd assume that's how they're setting it up, but for the time being they've either given you the spanner, and I just haven't figured out how you access it because there's no control list, which now I come to think of it, there was a control list, I think, on the itch.io page. That's probably my own fault for not reading that. Is this still locked down, or... Yeah, security lockdown initiated, room locked. Okay. So, things are starting to make a little bit more sense, but still not much sense.
Why did you summon me, Kessel? And what is your brother doing here? You have exactly 5 minutes before I charge you with insubordination.
Yes, ma'am. Look, I just wanted to say thank you for coming here and listening to what we have to.
I was not addressing you. 4 minutes.
We think the captain is knowingly endangering the ship and its entire crew with this mission, ma'am.
Risk is part of what we do, Kessel. Did nobody explain that when you signed up for the service?
Yes, ma'am, they did. It's just that this mission is a suicide mission. We aren't only going after a cartographer, ma'am. There is another ship out there. They went after the cartographer first, but nobody made it out alive, except for the ship's AI. Captain Braun has that AI now, and she's sending us after that ship.
There is something out there, ma'am. It killed that ship's whole crew, and it's gonna kill us, too.
Let's pretend for a moment that I won't court-martial you for conspiracy. Why would Captain Braun chart a course for her own death? It's a poorly kept secret that if this mission goes well, the OSRDC is going to promote her to Vice Admiral. She's not going to die on this mission.
You're right, ma'am. She will make it out of this mission alive. The rest of us won't. Do the words Division 1 mean anything to you?
Okay. So we were going on a rescue mission to get some cartographer. But another rescue mission that had already been organised and had failed. Some AI from the ship had survived, which had been brought on by the captain previously in order to help, presumably, or because it knew something useful to the captain, and the captain was willing to put the lives of everybody on the ship at stake so long as the mission was a success. Interesting. So we've clearly got ourselves a very military and corporate system for our space exploration. The question is what under the sun I'm supposed to do next. Give me a minute and I shall wander around and I'll try and figure out what it is I'm supposed to do next. This is new. Engineering officer barracks. Okay, I was just wandering around, I stumbled upon this. Okay, so these are locked. Oh, this one isn't.
Jody, I'm sorry. It doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to be home in time for that pumpkin pie we talked about. Tell the kids I love them.
So there's a lot of people realising the fact that they're not going to survive. Okay, subject error, null date, subject its time. The target is making a surprise inspection of the lower levels in a couple of days. It doesn't sound very surprised if you know it's going to happen, surely. And there will be a perfect opportunity in the cryo chambers. That is when we will make our move. This is the most isolated location of the Tenebris. If we are fast, no one will notice. We should be sure to join her for the inspection. Everyone else be nearby for takeover. We need a bit of plan. This one is all too suspicious. None of us have reason to be in the cryo chambers. Our stations are in that section of the ship, sure, but elsewhere. Not to mention the subject suddenly falling ill after being perfectly healthy that day. We need a better plan. I don't like the direction this is going. Why is she a target all of a sudden? I thought we were going to talk to her, plead our case, and if that doesn't work, we'll force her into cryo, but I don't want to. So yes, it sounds like they were trying to overthrow the captain. So where are we now? We're in here. Trying to overthrow the captain and get control of the ship for themselves, because the captain wasn't looking after their needs. Interesting. Ooh, okay. I didn't realize I could do this. I've managed to get in here. Oh, okay, so that's just one way door that leads there. So that answers the question as to where that door goes, but it doesn't answer any other questions. Security lockdown initiated, room locked. So it sounds like if I could get to some sort of a security room, I might be able to take the lockdown off and possibly gain access to the tram station. It says security and office terminal, server and securities. Is there anything else I can interact with here? Management keycard required. See, it says I need a keycard, but where that keycard is, I don't know. There was that keycard in the... well, it looked like a key. It looked like a sort of just a strip of gold in the other room, but I tried picking it up and it didn't work, so... yeah, this is just the armory. I don't think there's anything else important here. Just a few bullets. Yeah, okay. Let me just quickly go back and see if I can find that keycard again. Oh, we didn't listen to this one?
Jody, I'm sorry. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to
No,
get
we
home in
did
time
listen
for
to this
that
one,
pumpkin
honestly.
pie we talked about. Tell the kids I love them.
Okay, now we've got what may be a keycard. Okay. Access denied. Access granted. Okay, so what have we got here?
Thank you for getting in. I was worried that she would have destroyed me like that. She seemed to be experiencing an extreme form of mania.
The AI? I can't seem to activate this one.
No. No!
Hey, calm down. It's okay.
Where am I? What's happening to me?
Oh no, not you. Please, it's all right. See, you're all right.
No! Here!
No one's here except for you and me.
I'm
You're not
assistant to
making any
Captain, but
sense.
if memory
Money,
serves me correctly,
please, we need
there should be an escape pad behind the door in the You're not officer safe. terminus room.
Money, please,
You're not safe! None of us are! We're all going to... No. Please. No.
Hey now, you're going to be okay. No, wake up. Come on now. Imani?
So the captain wasn't in a good state, and I accidentally managed to trigger two lines of voice acting there to occur at the same time. So that's my own stupid fault. So it said something about there being an escape pod behind something. So presumably not in here. This seems too obvious. Is this one working, or is this one malfunctioning? Ah,
Only one pod left. That's our way out. No. This one is non-functional. It looks like whoever killed him ruined this pod. We will have to find a different way out of this ship. If we're lucky, we will be able to make it out in time.
Oh, no clues as to how we're supposed to get out of here in time. Okay, if you insist. I'm not entirely sure I trust this computer, but here we are.
Oh shit. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. I'm recording this in case I don't make it out. Division 1 has been compromised. Everything's gone to hell. Braun is dead. Natal's gone trigger happy. And those cowards Adams and Dewara locked me out of my own damn safe room. I hope those bastards rot in there. Doesn't matter. I always have a plan B. That's why I was chosen for this. I just hope we're not deep enough into the dark zone for whatever that damn AI was so concerned about. The escape pod should get me into communication range fairly quickly.
Leaving so soon, Jim?
Captain Natal, let's not do anything rash.
What was that about trigger happy?
So presumably the dark zone is some form of aerial space that the AI was trying to get to in order to do something. I dread to think what. So this is some special medical bay for the officers.
So you can't tell anyone I told you this, but the other day I was seeing a patient.
Attention crew members. This is an official announcement that Captain Braun will be incapacitated for the unforeseen future as she has caught an illness. She will be resting within the cryo chamber for the remainder of the mission. Carry on with your duties and make the OSRDC proud.
Hope she gets better soon. So what happened about that patient that we're talking about? You know what? Doesn't matter. I have to go. Alright. See you later, I guess. Wonder what going to happen.
Okay, so the captain was taken ill, possibly not by their own accord. Okay, Officer Log 96, day 132 of the Tenebris Voyager, 035 hours. For the last week I've noticed being late to a post. It was a surprise, it's never happened before. I wasn't concerned until she was late for the third consecutive day in a streak. I then decided to take a look at the security cameras where I tracked her movements. During the moments before and after she was scheduled, she would always move in a specific route, looking around herself towards the final destination without reporting this to anyone. And most importantly of all, I saw her holding a text written about disposing of the captain. This will put Division 1 at risk if something were to compromise the captain. We have to stop these traitors. However, if I apprehend her alone, the other conspirators will notice and seek to avoid my authority further. I must find all of them in one basket. And then the problem is the cameras lose sight of her as she enters room, name, or some hidden shortcut or pathway. One way or another, she had me lead all parties involved and deal with them accordingly when this gets out of hand. Okay. So the security was behind the captain and the crew wasn't. Seems to be the situation that was going on. I don't think that's supposed to be happening. So how am I supposed to get out of here then? I've checked every door and the escape plan isn't working, so I'm not quite sure where I'm supposed to go now.
Time is of the essence, but it may be wise to locate a better weapon. There's a high probability that we will run into more of those things, and you will need something a little more substantial. We can't help each other if you die.
Okay, well that's lovely, and if you'd like me to find a nice rocket or grenade or something, I would be more than happy to have that. Where precisely I'm supposed to find it, though, is beyond me. Presumably by that point you're only supposed to have maybe the pistol and the spanner, and then she then leads you to the rifle. However, I've already found that. So I'll wander around a little bit more and see if she says anything else, or if there's any other clues I can find that might help. Maybe she can help with the security lockdown? No. Typical.
That door should have been able to open normally. It doesn't make sense. It makes me wonder what the status of the ship is. Hang on while I override the security programs and get it back open. Stand by.
So she can open the security lockdown, even if not directly. Okay, hi friend. You seemed a bit tougher than your friends. Is that what you were alluding
Everything
to?
has been destroyed. Everything. Who could have done this? I am increasingly worried about the ship. We may be too late. With the tram station destroyed and the tunnels collapsed, we will need to find an alternative route to the bridge. If the Tenebris' layout is similar to other Voyager-class ships, and so far it has been, there should be maintenance tunnels running along the life support systems in the hull of the ship, if those are still intact.
There! Blowing up the tunnel entrance should hold off those bastards for a while. We're running out of options here. Damn near cornered ourselves. But we're not gonna go down without a fight, are we? We're not gonna let those monsters win. If any of those freaks find a hole, be ready to fire. Cortez, Hopper, come with me.
Okay, what's all this about? We have orders to quarantine at once. Again, we've already done practice drills for this quarter. I don't know that it's a drill. Then why do we have to quarantine? Is this real? Not included in the orders. We need to close the tunnels, so it is real then. I'm not sure, but it's orders. You don't go against them. What do you mean? Are we in any danger? I don't believe so. Are we infected? Now, that's quite enough. This isn't like you. You're an engineer, one of my best. Get a hold of yourself. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so maintenance tunnels. I read something about life support. I think I've seen a sign for that at some point. Okay, let me wander around again, see if I can figure out where the life support is. Security and office terminals. No, that doesn't sound right. Life support, life support, life support. Biodevelopment and life support. Right, there must be some sort of tunnel here, right? Maybe this door? The biodevelopment labs? Maybe, maybe not.
Another locked door. It should not take long for me to open. Remove me from your communication unit and patch me into the door security access. That's odd. I am picking up an active channel within the ship. I will try to zero in on the frequency. They could be other survivors. If they are others, they are likely in grave danger. I got the frequency.
Is the door open
No
now?
time to waste. If there are survivors aboard, we need to turn the ship around now before you become one of those creatures just like everyone else.
Ah, so that confirms my theory about the monsters came from the crew. Right. Ew, what the heck? Whoa, what's that? That looks like a white bullet? Is that related to the big gun she was talking about? Okay, these must be those plants they were talking about.
That's odd. The plant life has been decimated. Each species seems to have died.
Okay, what's all this? Reporting in on day 134 of the Tenebris Voyager, 12:31 hours, we have achieved considerable progress with our experimentation of the altered organisms stored within the secured labs. Their behavior to outside stimuli such as lacerations, eviscerations, incinerations, etc. are quite abnormal and extraordinary by typical organic life standards, as they were able to withstand more damage before succumbing to their wounds. Outside of lab studies, here was someone who, from department, who kept visiting during his break to talk about a rat we've put in a cage, which he named Mason. It seems pointless to me they would try to befriend one of the many creatures. We'll process him through the transfer. So what happened to his friend? We'll treat him the same way. Okay, so they captured one of these creatures and somebody tried to befriend it? Weird.
It's kind of amazing, isn't it?
Yep, sure is.
These are the same plants we've had from the beginning, but their molecular composition has shifted. What do you make of them?
Sounds real sciencey, Doc.
Is this all lost on you? Do you not have any appreciation for what lays before you? There are minds, and there are great minds. And while you fit into the former, I am in the latter and have a higher appreciation for the mysteries of life. I can only study what I've seen from recent change. It's very frustrating not knowing, but thrilling at the same time. There haven't been any variables. They are in a controlled environment. As always.
What did you call me in here for? I've got work to do.
You should be in a controlled environment as always. But this level of change, I suspect someone has tampered with them. My plants are precious to me, and it will not do to have their growth altered, even if it has shown beneficial change thus far. If you had done your job properly, this would have not happened.
Hey, this ain't my fault. Anyone passing into this part of the ship has to go through the same security line as you. That's our food. Nobody's trying to sabotage that. We know how our rations taste. Your plants are fucked up. That's your job, not mine.
I demand you treat me with proper respect. I am your superior. Go through all of the security records and track every minute of every person on this level until you find out who is trying to ruin my work.
No. Don't be delusional, Doc. Nobody's been here but you and the other eggheads. I don't gotta dig up the work to prove that. I'm going back to my post.
Solace, you damn gorilla! Get back here! Do your job!
Man alive. I was finding these voice recordings a little bit tedious, but
The maintenance tunnel is down there. Plug me in, and I'll release it.
Okay, whatever you say. What do we have here? This can't be happening. First, everyone is getting voices inside their heads. Now mechanics won't cooperate and work. I don't remember this being part of the job description, having to deal with power outages. I'm a security officer, not a tactician. No one here to help me, and I've got nothing better to do. I hope I don't get antsy with me because of this stuff. Getting some bad vibes going on here, and they won't stop. Okay.
Close the door, Robert. Close the door!
Hold on!
Robert!
But what about Jim?
Out of the way, I'll shut it myself. There, it's done. What's gotten into you?
I don't know, Amani. I don't know about any of this anymore. Natal is right.
How could you say that? She killed Samantha!
Wouldn't you? If you found out that the person sworn to protect you was sending you to your death, wouldn't you try to stop them? I mean, especially if they were doing so willingly. As hard as it might be for you to stomach this, we're the bad guys here, Amani. We don't deserve to be the ones to get out of here alive.
Fine. Then go out there and fix this. You know the ship better than anybody else. If this isn't inevitable, then go and save the crew.
That's the thing, Amani. That's how I know we're the bad guys. We both know that neither of us are willing to open that door and risk certain death just to save the crew. I don't want to die, even if that means so others can live.
And so the second engineer says, no, it's all nuts.
Ah, funny.
Hey, is everything...
What the?
What the fuck was that? First the electronics go down, now something else goes bump in the night? What's been going on around here?
I don't know. Maybe we should check it out. You know what? I'll go check on it myself. Right now, you stay here.
Okay. Radio in if you need any help. First Andrews, and now Kessel? What's gotten into everyone on this damn ship?
Okay. So well, I mean, that's the end of the game. This was interesting. This is obviously a little bare bones at the minute. There's obviously a lot more work yet to do in it to improve it, put a bit more detail into it, hopefully refine some of the slight performance issues. But overall, it shows a lot of potential. There's an interesting story here that I'd like to see them do more with, and hopefully will be explored more in the further episodes. It's a shame that it was finished by just getting to the maintenance tunnels rather than actually escaping. That would have been a slightly more climactic end, but this has a lot of potential. If they do a bit more with the story to explain it a little bit more thoroughly, and they put in a few more sort of horror elements, maybe working that off the story, this has a lot of potential to be really interesting and very fun. changing up the monsters a bit would be helpful. Obviously sound effects, etc, 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 but I'm sure that's all blatantly obvious without me saying anything. But this has a lot of potential, and I'd like to see this develop. I'd like to see more done with this. So I suppose this was a bit of an odd video in the sense that I don't think I made a single joke in it throughout the entire time. But never mind, this has been an interesting one, but that's been Tenebris Voyager. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Look after each other, and good night.